Mr. Allen Onyema, thank you for joining me on the program.
Thank you.
Now, you have built the largest airline in West Africa, and you've survived turbulence that has grounded your competitors. But one war in the Middle East at this moment nearly brought the entire industry to a halt. But you kept flying, Mr. Onyema. How does that happen? And what does it tell us about how dangerously exposed Nigeria really is?
Well, thank you very much. But what is happening to Nigerian aviation is global. It's a global crisis in the aviation industry. It's not just limited to Nigeria alone. Since the advent of the US, Israel, and Iran war, the aviation world has been adversely affected. You could see that airlines have been closing down, shutting down the operations worldwide. Some legacy airlines, some of the biggest airlines in the world, cutting flights, up to 20,000 flights in order to survive because of the rise in cost of Jet A1. That's the fuel we use for our operations. I remember aviation fuel, hitherto, before now, the cost of aviation fuel rose by about 30% to 40% from what it used to be. Just because of 30%, airlines are going under abroad. Many of them are struggling to survive. However, in my country, aviation fuel has gone beyond 250%. At the time, it was about 300%. From 900 naira to a liter to at a time at about 3,300. So you do the mathematics. And this is what the Nigerian airline is supposed to grapple with. So you have to actually applaud the resilience of these Nigerian airlines who are just doing real patriotic services to their nation, yet unsung. No Nigerian airline is smiling now. We've all borrowed, and thanks to the banks that believe in the aviation industry, we've all borrowed billions just to buy fuel alone and fly. You just fly for the aviation, for the fuel vendors. You take off to go to Abuja. Fuel used to pay for fuel for about 3 million on a flight of 4 million. Now it's about 12 million, 13 million for the same flight. How many people are you carrying? So when you look at it, the economies of scale, I mean, it doesn't really favor the Nigerian airline. And mind you, these airlines from the Western world get their funding at 3 to 4%, at most 4% interest rate. Here in Nigeria, we get our funding at about between 29 to 33%. So the Nigerian airline is actually dead on arrival. And many of us, including Air Peace, cut down the number of flights we do in order to save costs.
But how are you managing? Because last week, IATA said, and I quote, that the toughest place to open an airline today is either Afghanistan or Nigeria. Afghanistan, because it is a disaster, and Nigeria, because it is unbelievably expensive to operate, with 54 taxes, fees, and charges spread across 4 major government agencies in the aviation industry. Now, when the world's most powerful aviation body stands on a global stage and compares your operating environment to a war zone, what does that tell us? And what is your message to the Nigerian government today?
That comment wasn't complimentary of anybody in this country. It wasn't complimentary at all. But we welcome it because over the years, airlines in Nigeria have been crying to governments over time. The problem we have in Nigeria is that since the deregulation of the airline industry in the 80s, early 80s, people have come to look at as airline owners as, oh, making money. If I make business easy for him, this man will make money. No! Aviation is a catalyst of national strategic importance. There's no UAE without Etihad and Emirates. They might not be making money for themselves, but they are doing other things that are engineering the ecosystem to make money for the country. That's what they are doing. Every country does that. They support the airlines. During COVID, America doled out billions of dollars to their airlines. Maybe the least got about, some got $5 billion just to help them to recover. The entire 34 airlines in Nigeria were given 4 billion naira. That is less than $2 million. All the airlines in Nigeria. Some airlines got 8 million naira only. Tell me what you're going to do with that. Over 70 airlines have come and gone in this country. Nigeria has the highest mortality rate of airlines worldwide. That's not complimentary. And we keep on complaining. We keep on complaining. And nobody is listening to us. Thanks to this government that at least has come in to do this Cape Town thing. The government is trying to establish a leasing company now, thanks to President Tinubu and Festus Keyamo. The man is working around the clock to make that happen. Maybe that will help us also. But the way it is now, if those charges are not reviewed, airlines will continue to crumble in this country. Those charges and taxes, the way things are done in aviation. Look, ICAO that rules aviation worldwide, the International Civil Aviation Organization, rules that it must be cost recovery.
Yeah.
You don't use airlines per se to raise revenue for the nation. Airlines are not used to raise revenue directly, but indirectly. They energize the ecosystem for government to make money through tourism, economic integration, and so many other things. Airlines bring those things to bear indirectly. But taxing airlines directly to raise revenue for government is something very, very, very bad. Time has come, and I believe this government will listen. We are seeking an appointment with the president. And we think the president should see us and hear from us. We are patriotic citizens of this country. We appreciate what this government has done for us, but they need to listen more to us and get to know the pains, the pain points that are hitting these airlines. If any airline goes down, banks will take a hit. And it creates massive job employment. A lot of people will be thrown into the unemployment market. And of course, you don't know who will be the next armed robber, next suicide bomber, the next kidnapper, and other. You'll be promoting insecurity the other way. We need to sit down with Mr. President and tell him face to face. We don't want anybody to go between us and him. We want to sit with our minister, who is very progressive, sit down with him, sit down with the president, and tell him the honest truth.
What is the truth?
The truth we have to tell the president is that the 5% passengers, TSC, they charge the airlines. And they will tell you that, oh, it's the passengers that pay it. We refuse to accept. We refuse to accept. If I charge 100,000, NCA will take 5%. If I charge 200,000, NCA will take 5% of 200,000. I didn't set up business with you. That's not how, because aviation itself does not give you 5% gain. But they tell you, oh, it's the passengers that pay it. No, then take it from the passengers. We want Mr. President to set up aviation taxes and charges review committee. It is very important so that it doesn't look as if we are trying to fool the government. Let the government select people, technocrats, people from aviation, and then some of us from the airline industry. Raise up a committee of aviation taxes and charges, review committee, to look into these charges that airlines have been crying over time to be responsible for the demise of airlines in this country.